Alright, grown black folks talk. Try not to be or date the smartest person in the room. Now, there may be many occasions, practically speaking, where if you have certain expertise and certain learning, you may end up being the smartest person in the room. But that puts you always in a position of having to rescue other people. And I'm telling you, as a black woman, that's not a position you want to stay in, because everybody just starts depending on you and stops developing themselves. That's one of the reasons specifically for black women that you have to exit. But I said don't date either, because a lot of men, black men, have been, we talked about earning in the last video, and how many black men have been put in a position where they think that all they can do, because the economy is so closed up in many ways, and that they ought to be given massive credit for being able to earn, and they ought to have respect and be revered because they've done what so many of their peers have not been able to do. Men in particular would like to feel that if they're in a room with a woman, that they're smarter than her. Oftentimes, if they're underdeveloped, that ego. And if you notice in a man that he always wants to be seen as the smartest one, but also still don't be that person, because again, everybody will just start to depend on you. What do you want to do? Get into rooms where people understand. Strengths can be complementary. I was engaging with a young gentleman online, and he thought that, if a woman wants a strong, upright man, she just needs to be weak so she can submit. Did not understand that strength is complementary. Weakness is complementary, but it does no good. And if one person is weak and the other one is strong, if the other one is smart and the other one is stupid, the smart one, strong one, ends up carrying the load, resents it. Always. But if I have strength in a way that you don't, and you have strength in a way that I don't, and we can compensate for that in each other, what we do together is that we can be stronger together than we ever will be separately. But you have to be with people who are of a mind to understand that. And what you want to do is set your life to get to places where you can learn from and with continually, where nobody's trying to be, and no one is burdened to be the strongest, smartest person in the room all the time. At least take turns. And I've been on both sides of this, and I'm telling you, don't want it. So you have to sit down with your own ego. A lot of times I go to places, and I could probably solve a lot of problems with people in there, but if I do that, they don't get a chance to grow and solve their own problems. And I've been in situations in which you're the strongest person in the room, but everyone else decides to duck out on their responsibilities and then expect you to pick up messes that they create. Same thing happens on the intellectual level. Ever done group work? This is the setup to make us hate to find group work in school. You're the A student, and your teacher assigns you a whole bunch of C students, and you end up carrying them, and you hate collaborative work ever after. But that helps to set you up not being able to find good collaborations in your life. What you want to do is get into rooms where you can learn from and with people there, where there's not any head honcho. And if you've taken the time to do this in your life, don't date anybody who thinks you need to be dumb for them to feel smart, that you need to be weak for them to feel small. This goes for men too. As I said in the last video, it does not matter how many degrees you have if all you know in an economy that sits on 3 legs and earning is the weakest leg. You're proud because you have earned income. You're proud because you have a degree that gives you earned income. You think you're more special than your male peers because they're in jail and you're not, and you have a job and you should receive respect. No. You're glad as a woman because, your friends didn't make it through high school, or made it through high school and they were single mothers and they couldn't get as far as you. Or you're comparing yourself to those same black male peers who didn't make it as far. No. You're living in an economy where the investing class and the business class are laughing at all of us. That's not it. That's not it. Then you get on to, I earned 6 figures. Well, I earned 7. You earned 5. You ain't worth as much. High value men. All that whole concept, same foolishness. And I see a whole bunch of 6-figure women out here talking this same foolishness. It's foolishness. You have to learn how to not compete with the wrong people. You have to learn to do what the book is. I forget the authors of the book called Blue Ocean Strategy. There's enough room out here for everybody to invest and own a business and not have to be fighting and clawing each other into the ground. Those are the rooms you want to be in. And leave this foolishness going back and forth alone. The time is coming, it won't be long, that people who insist on staying in the foolishness are going to get stuck there. Gaps are going to get a little bit too wide. If you do your reading in the United States, rents are getting out of control, housing prices are getting out of control. It would take a recession to even correct it. But if you're already down before a recession, are you in position to benefit from the correction in rents and housing prices? Are you in a position to be able to do that? I suggest you get into position and stop arguing and listening to people that cannot help you do that. Separate yourself from the foolishness that goes on online. Everybody trying to prove they're right. Everybody talking tough everybody acting tough when they up. Like Mr. Luka Doncic told the community a month ago. Everybody acting tough when they up. I got my little channel and I can do whatever I want. Everybody acting tough when they up. You better get into some rooms where you can actually learn something you can apply to your life. And learn how not to have to win an argument and be the smartest person there, but learn how to listen. Better make some friends that are listening to some good things and want to be there listening with them. You're going to need that. This channel strives to be a place that provides resources. You're not going to entertain certain arguments. There's no point. That's not going to none of those arguments. Winning any argument, being the smartest person in the room, is not going to save you. My sister has a magnificent phrase for this. Stop fighting for the last piece of chocolate cake on the Titanic. I'm going to put some healing resources in the description. And I can scratch up some other things to help you with your mindset. In fact, I know that I can. I think I'm going to put some Alicia Release, the artist, talking about the limitations and how to stop chasing the American dream, which tells us we have to compete for a standard of excellence that does not serve us. I'm going to put those in the description for you. All right, the wind is picking up now. Y'all have a good day. And hopefully be able to come back. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. I promise I will not be as growling and barking tomorrow.